Ooh, welcome back. I don't know. I'm trying something new. It's not working. Hello and welcome. Welcome and hello. This is Total Spotfest. That right there.
Late night with Total Spotfest. That's what this is.
What the one late night show that won't get canceled due to political bullshit because we don't go there. That's Jamie. I'm JJ.
Never.
We got Austin Reddick with us there. That's what we call a timely intro, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, it is late night. We're going to get probably a little loopy here, so it's going to be a fun show.
Probably. I'm already tired. You have been up since 5, so let's go.
Jamie is hopped up on Mountain Dew, which is either fantastic or he's going to crash hard about halfway through the show, Austin. I don't know which.
A little bit of both. A little bit of
A little bit of both. How's your boys' week been?
It's a week.
Yeah, it's been a week. Yeah, have you kept your power on for the past 7 days, Mr. Reddick?
I have. It cut out, luckily, post-show last week. There are storms rolling through right now, so hopefully I don't go dark again. But that's the downside of small-town living. Sometimes when the weather gets bad, we just lose power for a bit.
Well, knock on wood. We're going to pray for the best on that there. But if this is your first time joining us, thank you guys for giving us some of your time. We appreciate it. Hit the subscribe button down below. Give us a like while you're down there. Hit the bell icon to know when we go live. We got some business to get to first and foremost, ladies and gentlemen, because as you know, before we get into talking about Dynamite and Wrestle Pull, what the hell is going on over in WWE world right now, it is football season, and with football season comes fantasy football. And with fantasy football and the Total Spotfest Fantasy Football League, we are inevitably greeted at least once, if not multiple times a year, with Jamie Faulkner versus Austin Reddick. And we got that as an early season marquee matchup this year. Do we want to talk about the result? I mean, it's
I would love to, personally.
Same result, man. I don't
know how good Jamie feels about it. But sometimes when you got someone's number, you just got someone's number. As I said last week, Jamie will never beat me in fantasy football. And once again, he just couldn't get the job done.
He has yet to beat you. I mean, I beat Jamie. Jamie's beat me most of the time, but he has yet to actually beat you.
And he never will.
Mark your calendars. It's going to happen again.
Yes, me beating you will happen again.
I know. I'm just like, my team just decides to just mail it in.
That was me and my work week.
You got to be better at coaching your fantasy team.
Come on, man. Just be better. What are you doing? Be better. I had a very unexpected 27.25 point defensive player performance that propelled me to a nice smooth win over your wife there. So I'm happy with that.
I see you week 14, the last week of the season.
I'll see you losing again, week 14, the last week of the season.
We're bookending with Austin versus Jamie. All right.
Be a nice, easy win to roll into the playoffs.
Yeah.
I do gotta say, I love having the defensive player.
I do too.
Yes.
It's so much fun.
I really do.
I know, because I'd have, honestly, I would probably have tried everything I could to get Brandon Aubrey, and he went off this past week.
And I did the timely shift, because Steelers doing what the hell ever, right? And Browns were playing a gimme game, and I was just like, let me put Roquan Smith in, and oh my god, like literally, my highest point producing player was my defensive player. I love this, and the double quarterbacks I love too because it's fantastic. So,
see, I gave my wife the heads up on Sunday. I was like, by the way, that offensive player spot can be a quarterback, and it probably should be because they're usually going to score more than everyone else. And she was like, cool. She didn't know that. Non-experienced fantasy player. Understandable.
Yeah.
And then I realized she plays me this week, and I was like, damn, I should have waited one more week just in case. Then told her to put a quarterback in that slot.
Yeah.
Because that's what will happen is I will beat Jamie because I am incapable of losing to Jamie, but then I will lose to my wife who drafts mostly bears the next week. It'll just happen that way.
Yeah. This is when AJ finally goes off. He finally gets the end zone. Like he'll get like
Right.
45 points or something crazy.
Caleb Williams has his one good game a year, and he's gonna,
I got Tommy this weekend. I got Tommy.
Who do I have? I don't even know who I have.
And then I have my wife and daughter going head to head.
Oh, nice. Oh, I got Bishop.
Yeah, you got SK. Yeah.
Okay.
Favor to absolutely kick your ass too. So
Yeah, I need
He
to.
stomped me week 1. Bishop's got a solid team.
Yeah,
he has a really good team.
I was looking it over, and I was just like, "What moves can I make?" And I go, "Get some more players," because I don't know, man. He's got Broncos defense. Zach Braun. That's a solid defensive player to put in there. I mean, you got Ertz, Zay Flowers, Puka, Malik, Brees Hall.
Well, Zay Flowers going nuts right now. I have him in my big league.
Zay Flowers is stupid. Puka's going crazy too, man. Oh my god, Puka is averaging 27 points. Averaging.
Yeah.
I did trade Jordan Love for Jaden Daniels. I don't know if you guys saw that.
I did.
I saw that.
I overpaid. I know I did.
I overpaid.
But
I don't know,
for what my team needed and what I gave up is worth it.
Yeah.
In a 2-quarterback league, you want one of those top quarterbacks. Now, unfortunately, you traded for him, and then he sprained his knee immediately after, and he's questionable for this weekend.
I know.
But long-term, solid play. It won't help you beat me in the future for sure, but it probably gets you decent record.
Shit, I might play Wan'Dale Robinson against the Chiefs because he's gone off every week so far. 30 points in 2 weeks.
Might as well. And I got my little wild card out there because I'm for the time being I'm keeping Bo Nix in there as my QB2, right? Because Bo Nix going to do Bo Nix things, but that also includes that a couple games a year he's going to have a stupid stat line, right? You never know.
Yeah.
I mean, he's playing the Chargers this week, so probably not. But you never know.
Drake May pretty much got me the win against Jamie. He went out there and balled out. Well, Josh Allen put up like 9 points.
I know.
But Drake May had him in the punch.
I had Derrick Henry do absolutely nothing.
I was watching the scores all day Sunday, and I was like, well, Josh Allen is doing nothing, but luckily Derrick Henry is also doing nothing. So these are a wash. Let's hope everything else goes well.
I got Josh Allen in my other league, and literally he had 11 points. I'm like, what? Because he just basically did. He was like, oh wait, this game's in the bag.
I'd say he had like 11 in a game where they put up 30 something, and their offense was just firing, and Josh Allen still did nothing.
Yeah,
that's what happens in fantasy football, man. That's why it's great.
Fantasy football thing. So good times for fantasy football. Good times for wrestling as well, too. At least if you're an AEW fan. We'll talk more about that at the end of the show here. We got some gripes we want to get out. Okay, we'll get to it. But go home time, boys. Not only was it go home, you could probably tell by this bewitching hour, it was an extra long 3-hour go home, which one of us didn't realize until he turned on his stream of HBO Max that it was 3 hours. That would be this guy. Other side, other way. There you go. Remember, it's reverse.
Are. That's why you got to stay on Twitter, because I saw the Tony Khan tweet like several times over the last few days. We got a 3-hour Dynamite this week. That's how I stay up to date on these things.
I try, especially with all the vitriol going on in the world in the last.
Oh, it's a terrible place.
I try to stay off Twitter as much as possible. I'm not gonna lie.
See, here's the thing though.
Terrible.
Twitter will default to the For You, where you see all the bullshit you don't want to see. You got to make sure you're always on following and just the people you follow. Because when I do that, I get nothing but pro wrestling and NBA content, and it's great.
All right,
but the For You is where you get all the bullshit that no one needs to see.
Yeah, because I spend like hours just block, and it's just okay. All right. Thank you for learning an elder man about this.
That's a PSA, not just for you, but for anyone listening as well. Stay away from the for you on Twitter. You just It's like the shadowy place in the Lion King. You just don't go there.
The shadowy place in the Lion King. But 3 hours of go home goodness. We have technical wrestling, lots of tag team matches, 2 women's matches, including some bonkers fucking, no holds barred bullshit, which ear to fucking ear, guys. Yeah. So let's
And
get
we got
into
Lucha.
it. And
That's the important
Lucha.
part. We got Lucha. Can we just go ahead and start with the Lucha?
Let's please
Let's
start.
with the Lucha.
Let's please start with the Lucha because, they had the other 2 matches predictably. Konosuke Takeshita, Kazuchika, the Rainmaker Kazuchika Okada.
Thank you.
Ooh, almost got us fined there. Winning to go on to the unified, 3-way. So this one here, Beast Mortos versus Mascara Dorada.
Who's excellent.
Boy,
Yeah.
is just like we're in CMLL. Oh my God, this Lucha match.
This was.
I don't even know where to.
This. I think there'd be too much competition to put it anywhere near like the best TV match of the year. But this was one of my favorite TV matches of the year. I enjoyed this so much. Just
Okay.
That's a hot
pure
take,
Lucha
sir.
goodness.
It was my second favorite match of the night.
Oh, this was my favorite match of the night by far.
I know.
I mean, I thought pretty much every match tonight was outstanding, but this match, you got to enjoy true Lucha when you get it, and you don't get it that often.
Yeah, and honestly, like every time I see the Beast Mortos, I completely forget how agile and nimble that guy is.
Right.
Every single time. Completely forget it.
Because, like, you look at him, you think he's a bruiser, he might do some technical stuff, and it's like, no, he's like a true Lucha at his size.
Yeah.
It's crazy, And you had a lot of
It's like
Luchas.
the Mandela effect or something.
It's like that one Shaq movie, or that one Sinbad movie. I love that you got some real good signature Lucha stuff here. And what I mean by some signature Lucha stuff is you have a botch that the 2 men just immediately recognize, move on, and then try to overcompensate in the best way for the next 3 minutes.
Yeah, that's true.
Like true Lucha, What's up, Squatch? And you guys know my feelings about Dorada. I love Dorada. I'm very happy that he won because I can't wait to see. I know that this pay-per-view is loaded. And yes, Takeshita Okada in a match. But you throw Dorada in that match, oh my God. I might need more pants.
As much as I love Lucha, I think I'd rather see Mortos in the 3-way, just because he's more experienced in AEW and working a different style. I'm interested to see how Dorada fits in with Takeshita and Okada.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm sure it's still going to be good, but I could see it being a little bit awkward, him not in there with another true Lucha.
Okay.
I agree. I completely agree with that take because you have 2 very, 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 very good Japanese strong styles going at it, and you sprinkle in some crazy ass Lucha. Like, how is that gonna work with everything going on? He should have been in the ladder match with Bandito. They should have figured out a way to get him in that.
True. I mean,
That would have been rad.
Yeah.
Put a pin in that. We're gonna talk about that next. As a matter of fact, here, we're bouncing all over the place tonight. I don't know. Takeshita has had plenty of experience in Mexico. Yes, it's been a little bit, right?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Okada learned to wrestle in Mexico, and it's Okada. His music is terrible. We gotta get a petition going. We gotta do a change.org or something to like bring back Okada's original music because that I can't.
I'm starting to like it. I'm starting to like it
because I'm starting to hate it even more. I didn't mind it until like it's I'm going
on
the
me.
Complete opposite. I'm like, this is bad.
It's not as good as his original. Don't get me wrong, but it's growing on me.
Austin,
So,
Austin, settle
I
this,
think-
please. Please.
The problem is not that his new music is bad. The problem is that
bad.
his old music was so iconic that
Yeah.
nothing will compare. I don't hate it, but every time I hear his new music, all I can think is, damn, I wish they just brought his old music back because it was so good.
Yes.
Yeah. Whereas, can we all agree Kyle Fletcher's new music actually suits him way better?
Yeah, I think it's very good, and you're right. Sometimes Lucha doesn't mix well with strong style squash. Remains to be seen. I have high hopes for this. Okay, Kyle Fletcher's musically, I loved the original one because I'm really I love metal and I dig it. Right?
Yeah, but Tekla's like kills his. Let's be honest.
Understandable, but I always said, if you remember too, that I thought his music might be a bit much, right? For what they were trying to present, and they kind of just brought it back just enough to make it work. Okay. Before we get to talk about Fletcher, though, so that means that we have the three, and then of course after the match, out comes the Rainmaker, out comes Takeshita, Don Callis with Okada, and yes, we all know the brushstrokes being painted, right? We don't have to state the obvious, right? We can
What's the obvious?
Oh yes, they're turning the man face. You've been saying this for months. Okay, Austin, you were pretty much right behind him saying the same thing. We all know this is happening. It's happening on Saturday.
There's a certain point where someone just gets so over with the crowd that you just kind of got to turn him face. Especially someone like Takeshita, that he's not a menacing heel. He's not a bad guy asshole heel. He just happens to be aligned with the bad guys. It's not someone like what they're doing with Christian Cage right now, which we'll get to later, where he's very much just a bad guy, but now we love him because we did previously, and now he's with the guy. Takeshita is one, like, he doesn't really wrestle like a heel. He doesn't talk like a heel because he doesn't talk much at all. So he's not one that you can drag out for too long when the crowd is that far behind him. So yeah, it's time. And I agree. It's happening on Saturday.
And with the roster, Jamie, you got to have more faces. So let's go.
Right now, yeah, they're hungry for a couple faces, and I know they're gonna get one back on Saturday, but yeah, I feel like you need at least one more.
So the other big match that was not at all set up was the 4-way ladder match for the World Tag Team Championship. Now, the champions, of course, in it, right? And they have 3 open spots. And tonight they had 3 matches to determine that. So, hey, Austin Reddick, you like your tag team wrestling on television? Here is your
I got a lot
prize.
of it.
Got a lot.
All right, so let's go in chronological order here. So we have the Young Bucks, who have been blowing through this money just as fast as we all expected them to. And I love how Nick is like just throwing it around, like like a rich kid at a titty bar, right? And Matt's just like, hold, slow down, right? Young Bucks going up against what's healthy of the Bang Bang Gang. And I love the way they framed that too. But, ladies and gentlemen, Juice Robinson has a beard back. Thank the Lord Jesus Almighty.
And the wild hair.
I still don't care for the gear. Like,
Don't care. He's got the beard.
we should go back to his old gear, but we got the hair and the beard, and that's a start.
You know what? I'll take it for right now. Or if they make his current gear, if he did because he's used to rock the gold trunks, right? If he could just do all gold, like literally all gold, shiny ass gold,
I know
that would be really cool.
I know they try to do like serious Juice Robinson, and it's like, don't do that. Don't do that. Give us stupid crazy Juice.
He's not serious.
No,
I want to see him just straight up steal like early 90s WWF Macho Man gear, or just random neon colors, random tassels and stuff. And Macho Man did an all gold one at one point in time as well.
Yes,
But
I remember that.
that's the thing. Like, you can't have a character like Juice Robinson and just put him in all black gear. It does not match his personality at all.
No.
No.
So
But the match was fire.
all tag matches were great tonight. And this one here was fantastic. I think Austin Guns really come a long way. I will say that. I mean, I know Jamie's big on the guns in general, right? But it's nice to see him kind of branch out a little bit. Now, it's by necessity. We know this because his brother's injured again. But still, he looked good. She's looked good. The Bucks are the Bucks. This was a lot of fun. Now, wasn't a big surprise when you think about it. The Bucks did get the victory. Okay, so Bro Dito and the Young Bucks. That's where we are so far. A little bit later, you have the next of the three matches, which is Killswitchosaurus and Kip Sabian, who have been weirdly feuding because Nick Wayne's hurt. I don't know. I don't get it. Whatever. It's a thing. Going up against Jet Speed. Okay. And while, yes, we all can see where this is going, I did like what they did in this match for the most part with Killswitch. I say for the most part because I really, and I don't know why, but it just tonight's the first night it hit my head. I really want to see Jack Perry and Killswitch reunite. No good reason other than what the fuck are you doing with Jack Perry? What is he doing?
And that's a good marquee tag team to get right back into this division. And you got nothing else going on for either of them. I don't mind what they were doing with Killswitch in a vacuum. It's just weird that you just brought him back like a month ago and you put him with Kip Sabian and them, and he's already like done with their bullshit and leaving. It just very much they're pivoting because Nick Wayne got hurt. But it's hard to get invested because they haven't spent enough time together for you to really care. I did love Kip Sabian coming out with like the loincloth thing to match Luchasaurus though.
That was great.
It's a Jungle Boy squatch. Jungle Boy.
Yes. So, did you guys watch any of the Being the Elite at all? Because it's back. Being the Elite's back.
I heard that, but I haven't watched any of it. No.
Well, Jack Perry sent a knife that he actually made, a real knife. If you watch, like, he had a video up where he made that knife. He sent it to the Bucks. So he's coming back soon. So I think what you're saying definitely has legs because clearly Killswitch is going to be dead. And the rebirth of Luchasaurus is going to happen. And what better way to have that happen than bring back Jungle Boy with him? I think that makes so much sense. I can't agree with that anymore, actually.
Yeah.
And for all those who did know, Jack Perry got hurt again, and that's why he's been sidelined.
That's where he's been. Okay. I got you. Okay.
I would like to see Jack Perry come back as soon as Saturday.
Same.
I thought I thought it would happen tonight because I don't know because I mean they didn't win. Jet Speed won, so Luchasaurus is not even on the show on Saturday technically.
So you got this ladder match coming up. You've got FTR versus Edge and Christian.
Mm-hmm.
Your natural thought would be, hey, by the time we get to Full Gear, or Wrestle Dream, we're getting the Bucks will win the titles. We'll get Bucks versus Edge and Christian for the titles.
Right.
I would like to see Jack Perry show up on Saturday and cost the Bucks that match. And let's get Jack Perry and Luchasaurus against the Bucks before we get to the Bucks getting back to the titles.
Okay.
Because the knife is a little ominous, you know?
I think so. Well, I don't think he'll be as Jungle Boy Squatch. I think he's well past that. The whole black sheep, this and that. But you can still do Jack Perry, and it's a natural thing to put them together, just like Cope and Christian's natural, right? It's a natural thing to put Luchasaurus and Jack Perry back together.
The Jurassic Express.
You can still call it Jurassic Express. That's fine. Fine with that. Jet Speed, Young Bucks, Brodito. One more spot to fill, ladies and gentlemen, and that goes to our main event. So you have Top Flight, who they're in some sort of association with like half the faces in the back. I don't know what's going on with that. Scorpio Sky, Christopher Daniels, like whatever. But Top Flight with. And can we talk for a second about how beefy? Which one is it? Darius? No. Wow. Darian. Is it Darian?
Dante's the other one.
Dante. Can we talk about
Dante's the taller one.
Yeah. Dante. First of all, that man is bulked up like remember when he was just a little flippy spinny guy? Like what? Jesus Christ, man. He hit a pituitary thing or something. Just shot up like a leaf. Top Flight versus the Don Callis family, giving you technical wrestling wet dreams of Josh Alexander and Hechicero. Or giving at least one of us.
I'm never sad about seeing Hechicero.
I know you're not.
As well, but definitely Hechicero.
So this was the main event, and it was great. You know, we talked a little bit about this. My feed cut off. I had to go to an alternative website. I got the unedited feed, so I got the feed that ran through the commercial, and I loved Danielson and Don Callis's back and forth ribbing as much as I like this match. I love that. I think even more. Sue me.
Danielson on commentary has been so good.
So good. And the fact that he's been out, I hate to say it, like, I know some people have been like, oh, Tony Schiavone needs to go away, but now Tony Schiavone isn't on there as much. I am enjoying it.
I like Tony being used for the interviews in ring and on the stage.
Same. That's where he's always been the best.
Yeah. And I don't mind Tony's commentary, but he does very much have that more classic old school commentary style that doesn't fit in as well. It's the same thing. It's not as bad, but it's like when they trot JR out there for pay-per-view main events, and JR just seems not really give a shit about modern wrestling.
Yeah. That's fair.
Yeah. Yeah, I think he fits in better with the commentary. You can use him sparingly. Hate to throw us out there, but he is getting up there in age a little bit too. Plus, he does do the collision stuff, so it makes sense that you don't have him committed to doing all of both shows, right? Scale it back. Yeah, so I was thinking for sure Top Flight, was going to win this, but then about 5 minutes in, I'm like, oh yeah, let me look at who's in this match already. We need more heels.
Yeah, there's only one heel team. There's no way Top Flight's winning.
Yeah, so interesting dynamic as well, too. So you get the Don Callis family, technical wrestling, versus Brodito, versus the Young Bucks, versus Jet Speed in a ladder match. Okay, let's go.
That's going to be a good time.
Yeah. That's going to steal the show. Calling it now.
It's hard to steal a show when you got a 4-team ladder match. I mean, how do you steal the shows?
Like that, they didn't have anything story-wise set up for like a proper 2-on-2 tag title defense.
Yeah.
So let's just throw a ladder match out there with a bunch of guys that are going to be really good in a ladder match. I'm here for it.
I mean, a lot of what they did for All Out build felt like that first time when they had the first All In and All Out a week later, right? Because they just kind of like, oh yeah, we got another pay-per-view in a week. Shit. They just put a bunch of cool stuff.
Shotgunned it all, and it was fantastic.
It was one of the best pay-per-views I've ever seen. And we've been to All Out, Jamie and I have. And sometimes it works. They did a lot of other promos set up, okay? So you had on Saturday, Mark Briscoe gave his stipulation. And again, I think both these men are doing a much better job making me care about this match. I've already seen 8 times, especially MJF. I think MJF's growth through his promo work he's been doing with this has helped his character in this whole story exponentially, and I get to that tonight here in a second. But the promo thrown out there this past Saturday at Collision makes me a very happy man. Tables and tacks. Tables and thumbtacks. And all is right in the world. There's a ladder match. We got Bonkers with Lucha 3-way match. We'll talk about the women's matches here in a second. And a thumbtack match, Jamie. A thumbtack match. Be still my beating heart.
I'd rather it be a Legos match, but it's all good. No, that should be a fun time. Blood in the first 1 minute of the match. Calling it out.
That is definitely the safe under you're taking right there for sure.
This is just such a better use of MJF than the title chase.
Agreed.
Right. It's depth.
Like, MJF should be having personal feuds with people. Because that's like we said, his promo work has been so much better because there's something to dig into and not just grab low-hanging fruit. And this is the most interested I've been in an MJF program in quite some time. Like, this is the perfect use for
him. And you know, one of my favorite promos that I think he's done in this whole thing was the behind the door audio thing they did with Tony Khan, right? So he goes out to Tony Khan's trailer there, right? Gets in there and you hear him and, you know, Tony Khan reading very slowly through his script, but it's better than him doing it live on TV. No offense, Tony. We love you. We know you watch the show. You're doing a great job, but yeah, you're not on Airtown for a reason. But hey, this is bullshit. I want out of this match. You cost me because you pulled my stipulation. All this stuff. He's going to town with him, and Tony's fighting back and giving it to him, and ends with him telling him, "Well, then, very well. I want you to mark mark these words or mark this day because you are going to be responsible." For basically, he basically told Tony Khan he's responsible for him killing the other Briscoe brother.
and hello from also Kansas City,
yeah.
Forensic Kill. Yes, we are local to you. Let's go.
Yep. I'm ready for this match. I'm so ready for this match. So.
I get to we've seen MJF bleed. It's not like he hasn't done hardcore, but this still seems out of his element enough that it makes the match more interesting.
Exactly.
And give us something to go with, you know. Lots of Darby Allin stuff throughout the night. Okay. Darby Allin, a little promo. You had a little sit-down interview where him and Bryan Danielson shared sweet nothings in each other's ear. They were talking about him climbing Everest, about being a man of his word and all this stuff. So he wanted Danielson's word that he's not going to get involved, which if those of you paying attention to Austin Reddick's favorite thing to bring up, which we scold him for, but some logic here, they let us know 2 weeks ago that if he gets involved in any match, he gets fired, right? You know? So, all right, Darby, we've already covered this base, but thank you for making him promise not to get involved in your match. And then Danielson whispers something in his ear.
Yeah, like...
It's weird.
I'm not here to hear Darby talk. I'm down to see Darby jump off stuff, get thrown around like a sandbag. And I've been on the record saying I would understand a Darby title run at some point in time. Makes sense for the company. But every time he starts talking, he sounds so lame. Like, he just sounds so lame every time he starts talking that I just can't take him seriously anymore.
I think Jamie had a small seizure right there.
So allow me, gentlemen. Allow me.
Please.
I am going to read from the book of Dillygaff.
Oh, we're going this far back. Holy shit.
Yes, the book of Dillygaff. And it reads, who the fuck cares? Get your copy of the book of Dillygaff, ladies and gentlemen. It's a great book.
All right, Shannon Moore.
I don't care. I really don't care about Darby Allin whatsoever. I know he's great for the company, and I get the business side of it, but Jesus, does he just drive me nuts because he just has the same match every single time, and he's got the emotional range of Shailene Woodley. Like there's nothing there.
And he's in a coffin match against Jon Moxley.
What?
Which we've seen this.
He's 2-0 now.
Sure, but it is going to be Jon Moxley almost grotesquely abusing the living shit out of Darby Allin until he finds a way to get him to lie down, and then coffin drops him into on top of the coffin or something. We know how this is ending. It's a whole thing.
I'm still looking forward to this though. It's gonna be violent.
I mean, I'll watch it.
Yeah, it's that's the point to Austin's credit. That is the point, right? We want to see him get his shit kicked out of him, and then whatever, right?
And who better to kick the shit out of him than Mox?
Nobody.
Like that's why I'm looking forward to this match, because Mox is gonna find new ways to kick the shit out of Darby Allin that we haven't seen before.
New and creative ways to kill a man. They did a little promo as well, showing from this past Saturday, Jerry Lynn trying to get the Acclaimed back together, basically. Which I know, Jamie. Max Caster, I get it, right? Lord's work, cool. I'm with Jerry on this. We need the Acclaimed back together.
I think there's a non-zero chance that there's a swerve coming, and that Bones is turning heel.
Bones has already turned heel.
Is he?
Yeah, he's already attacked him and been all angry and broody and shit.
Yeah, but
he's turned emo. He hasn't turned heel. Okay.
He's still technically a face. He just hates Max Caster, who's still technically a heel right now. But I think they're going to do a double turn out of this. Max Caster, the work he has done this year to get himself over as a singles wrestler has been outstanding.
As a really bad singles wrestler.
Yeah, but it's great. It works.
It absolutely
Wrestling needs guys like that. It's Santino Marella, but a different flavor. Santino didn't ever have to beat anybody. He just got his shtick in. You laughed a little bit. He got pinned, and 5 minutes later, we're on to the next segment.
John Cena.
You need that sometimes. But yeah, it seems too soon to put the Acclaim back together.
Well, it doesn't have to be the Acclaim like it was. Just like we talked about with Jurassic Express, right? They've been through things. They're doing different stuff now. It's a different type of Acclaim. But I don't know.
But they've only been separate for just a year.
I know. Well, yeah. And the problem isn't Max Caster. I agree with everything that was just said from both you gentlemen, right? And the problem is Anthony Bowens doesn't really have any legs because, to your point, what is he? I mean, he's not getting pushed into any singles role. He's doing this weird emo broody thing, right? Because when he doesn't win, he pouts and whines. And that doesn't fit his whole 5-tool super player. I don't understand what they're going to do with Anthony Bowens otherwise. If there's a turn coming, cool. I would love to see a dark evil Anthony Bowens. That'd be awesome. But I don't know. I don't know if they have it in them.
See, I think the heel turn for Bowens makes sense, but at the same time, I think you end up running the same problem you ran with him as a face. What do you do with him?
Exactly. At least if he's paired up.
Just fine. I've got nothing against him. He's solid in the ring. He's solid on the mic. but he's one of those guys that's just very solid at everything, but not exceptional at anything.
He's like, and I made this old analogy way back during like post-COVID times, talking about the young tag team division, right? And Jamie, you might remember this. I said that they remind me of a very different, but Dudley Brothers Team 3D, right? I'm gonna go back to that because he is Devon Dudley. Devon is not a singles wrestler.
Yeah, I think Bowen just fits better in a tag. But here's a fun question. If we might get 0, but if we only get 1 tag team reuniting, would you rather see the Acclaimed or Jurassic Express back together?
Ooh.
Well, I am the proud owner of a Scissor Me Daddy Ass shirt. So I feel I'd be remiss if I didn't say the Acclaimed, but it's been a long time since we saw Jurassic Express back, and I think that'd be a really good thing to go back into the well for that one, just for a limited run, and then you can eventually bring the Acclaim back full time. But I think the whole thing is Jurassic Express will be a limited run type thing, and it won't be a forever thing, because both those guys can do stuff on their own.
But his question was, which one? You're going to choose one. So you're going Jurassic Express.
Yeah.
You kind of tries to choose both, in a way.
Yeah. I said that they'll happen, but I'd rather have that.
Yeah, I mean, there's really not a wrong answer here.
Yeah, I don't think you're doing bad either way, right? I would love to see Jurassic Express. I think, like I said, I thought I was going to see it tonight. I like the idea of it, right? They could do a different, more mature Jurassic Express because it's no longer Jungle Boy, right? But that being said, I just think for the tag team division and for the wrestlers involved, I don't think you have any problem with Jack Perry being Jack Perry. He got over super big just as he was with the whole Black Sheep thing. I'd rather see the Acclaimed, I think. I think the Acclaimed it'd benefit them both. And they don't have to go back to the old shtick scissor, right? They could be these new personas they have in this begrudging, we have nowhere else to go sort of tag team. And they always got like a little bit of, kind of like what Cope and Edge are doing right now, right? Or Cope and Christian are doing right now, right? Where they're teaming together, but they're still very much their own individual things, even though they have fully like melded, but they have, right? I think you could do that with the Acclaim guys. What is your answer, Austin?
I would go with Jurassic Express for the sole reason that I am more interested in a Max Caster singles run than any of the other gentlemen being discussed. Okay. I've been enjoying what he's been doing. I'd like to see him get a babyface run. And I think you can do, I think because the Acclaim split up so fairly recently, and granted, they weren't tag champs, but they were trios champs for a long time, which is close enough. I think there's less you can do with them in the tag division right now than you could do with the reunited Jurassic Express for a little while.
Yeah, they were
even if it's not going to be a long-term pairing.
Yeah. JJ, by your definition, I just want to make sure. Begrudging tag team, right?
Yeah.
So you got this one guy.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Who doesn't like this one guy, but they come together. They come together and make the Mega Powers. We'll call it the Mega Scissors.
Somebody in one of my Discord channels that I'm in, one of my Twitch streamer friends, they have this wrestling channel, and there's we chat in there, but sometimes it bleeds over to like the general chat, and there was somebody who was talking about something to do with whatever, and they emerged into a Mega Powers meme fest for about 20 minutes there, and I thought for sure Jamie has somehow found where I was hanging out on the internet and decided to infiltrate. Because I turn it, I flip over and I see all those new messages in that channel. And I just see the whole, like, the high handshake, the...
Figures waving too. Yep.
For those of you who've been with us for a while.
Best handshake in the world.
For those of you who've been with us here on Total Spotfest for a while, that's a little deep cut. For those of you brand new, hi, welcome, subscribe, go back watch some of our old episodes. It's a
At
whole
your own
thing.
peril.
It's a whole
At
thing.
your own peril.
Okay. Speaking of Edge and Christian, I mean Cope and Christian. I mean Cage and Cope. However, we're gonna go with this.
The CNC connection.
Everybody dance now, man. We got. I understand this is also a random Wednesday. I know it's a go home. With a smaller arena, with the small thing there, you're literally just trying to get to the second verse of Alter Bridge to have it sung along. You can trim this in a different way so that we can move this shit along a little fast. I get it. It's cool.
I'm glad you brought that up.
It's just like
I'm over the crowd singing Metalingus.
Yeah.
Like, that's a waste of TV time. And I get it. You paid your ticket. You showed up to the building. That's probably a good time for you. So, like, I don't begrudge anyone that does it. But, like, they do it all the time. It's not super special anymore. It's it's like the yeeting in WWE. It's just kind of become a thing, and people just do it now. But, like, we don't need to spend 5 extra minutes of TV time for that.
It's like saying Judas, Jamie.
That's exactly what I was thinking. It's like,
Yeah.
that's what they did with Judas. But here we are, doing Metalingus now.
Yeah. I mean, if you use a big arena where it takes a while to get, okay, I get it, right? You know, but it's like they're literally just, okay, just keep running in circles in the ring till we get the second verse so we can turn the music off and then can, okay, whatever. What?
Yeah. I mean, we all thought the same thing about Judas, halfway through. Like, okay, cool. Everybody knows Judas in my mind. Congratulations. Can we move on now?
Yeah. Put a commercial break there now. Let the people in the arena have their fun.
That's an in-person
let's
thing.
get back to the action.
Yeah. But it's okay. So you had Cope and Christian doing a little face-to-face with FTR and about, a dozen security guards, right? Big Stoke wants to make it very, very clear that if there is anything to go on tonight, altercations, it's going to cost each of them $100,000, and if they inflict damage on him, it's $500,000, and they'll get the match canceled, and all this stuff, right? So it's not often that you get some decent words because Dax is great, right? Cash, not so much on the mic, right? So it's always pleasant to me when you get a decent enough, part of a promo from Cash, and they kind of led with that. Give it some emotion to it, right? It's always great. I love how my favorite part by far was Christian chiming in twice. Once to correct Adam when he said, you deal with Cope and Cage. It's like, Cage and Cope.
That was great.
Alphabetical.
So good.
Okay. And then at the end when he goes, here's the thing, and they're talking, and first of all, poor Stokely, no hose. Can't get no hose. There was a Beth Phoenix reference, by the way, gentlemen. And, at the end of it, I'm trying to get my words back together. At the end of it, so it ends with, Christian saying, here's the thing, $100,000, $500,000. Good thing I'm rich. And they just punch and they just go at it. And we're set for Saturday, right? This is the match.
He broke Dax's nose. He broke Dax's nose with that damn mic.
Dax has been getting
100%.
He's been bleeding. He's bled more in the past month than John Moxley. Okay. He's turned into the new
low key. The most dangerous weapon in pro wrestling history is the microphone. The sheer number of times people get stiffed when they bop someone with the mic is ridiculous. It has happened a lot.
Well, it's a mesh metal cage with a layer of foam and then a square like plastic or hardboard box.
Safe about that design. And that's the thing too, because it's they're so light and small. You're like, oh, this is fine, but it's just like a jagged metal object. You're just hitting someone in the face with, and like 9 times out of 10, someone ends up bleeding from getting hit with the microphone.
So we're ready for this. Is there anything you guys want to add about Cope Christian?
Yeah, I will disagree politely. I think Cash Wheeler is good on the mic. I think anytime he interjects, he does bring the fire. He's not the main talker of the group, but he doesn't need to be.
He
That's
doesn't do it
his role,
often.
right?
Maybe that's what I was getting at.
Yeah, he's just good. I think I've always thought he was better than Dax personally.
Okay.
That's me.
Hard to disagree on him being better than Dax. I think Dax is much better on the mic, but I do think Cash is very good at what he's tasked to do on the mic.
Yeah.
Like he's not saying a lot. He's not talking you into the building. He's adding his little bit, and it never overstays its welcome. It's always to the point, and it's what it needs to be. It was like in the Hart Foundation, Brett would do the talking and Amble would just do his weird laugh. And like that's good enough, man. That's all you need out of you. Yeah.
And play with his like, you know.
He'd have like 2 lines just to set up the laugh, and then he'd suspend her, and then they would leave. That was the promo.
God bless you, Jim the Anvil. We had 2 ladies matches. Granted, it was 3 hours, so asterisk if you want. But we had 2 ladies matches. Okay. Your run into the main was Riho versus Robin Renegade. It's just with Mercedes Moné on commentary. I don't got a lot to say about this match. It's pretty go home fare here, right? You know, for your TBS title picture with contender going up against somebody who didn't get an entrance. And even though, I mean, the Renegade sisters are fine, right? You know, they're solid workers. But, yeah.
I'm never going to be sad about getting a Riho match.
No.
Exactly. Nobody should, right? You know, I do like the Mercedes whole commentary thing about how young Riho is, how she's a little girl and all this stuff, right? And it's like, see, these are the good things that we want to see from heel Mercedes, not, you know, your like that was generally some good like heel ribbing. Do more of that.
Just be a heel.
Please.
Just be a heel. That's all we ask.
Yeah. She's been wrestling since she was 9.
I think she's been doing a lot of that lately. I'm on the money train.
You're on the
It's
money
gotten
train?
much better. It's gotten much better.
Much better.
She's found her stride.
Yeah.
Finally.
As much as the build to her and Toni was kind of meh, I think just having to be in there with Toni kind of made her step her game up a little bit, character-wise. Because, like, you have to. If you're going to be on the mic with Toni Storm, you're going to get eaten up alive if you don't bring it. And I think that's helped her grow into more of a true heel. Because you can't just do I beat everyone on the best when Toni Storm's over there, because she's just going to make a bunch of lesbian jokes and pop the crowd, and they're going to forget about you.
Speaking of a bunch of lesbian jokes, we got plenty of those. So out came Toni Storm into a spotlight, where she proceeded to call herself every version of slut skank, trollop, whatever, right? You know, keeps going on this whole.
Can't wallop.
Yeah, the trollop.
That's a new one. I'm like, ooh, that's new.
Trollop is fantastic, right? The skank you want to thank. I mean, the skank you want to spank. And she keeps going on this whole shtick about, you know, looking for her death. She's basically looking for it to be seppuku'd, you know, or whatever, you know, and I enjoy that lack. So for lack of like a force-fed storyline, the storyline with Toni Storm is that she's looking for somebody to murder her. And I wish I was being facetious, because that's literally what she wants to have happen. And we know this is a 4-way match that they set up, you know, last week. You know, it was her, Thekla, Jamie Hayter, and Chris Statlander. I wasn't expecting the mic tug of war to come into play here. For the first time in a while, I feel like they're actually giving Jamie some legs here. And I kind of like it, you know. I don't think that it's enough to, you know, convince me she's going to take the title off of her, right? Or Statlander. But for 2 women who seemingly were thrown into this match, lack of a better, you know, plot line, unless either of you want to disagree with that, right? Because on paper, you look at it and you think they've done all this build around Thekla that she would be the one if you're going to do this for the pay-per-view, right? But they put in their Jamie Hayter, which storyline makes a lot of sense, and Chris Statlander, and they do a little like square off type thing before they get to the other women's match. So before we talk about the No Holds Barred, thoughts on this whole little bit and shtick, what they're doing with Jamie and Chris in this picture?
So I thought the all sharing a mic tug of war thing in the spotlight was a little weird. Like it looked like they were all about to start singing or something. It was just very like, and I get it, it's part of Tony's gimmick. It wasn't bad. And I don't mind them trying new things. Like sometimes you try something, it doesn't work as good as it did in your head. I am actually less convinced Tony's keeping her title on Saturday now.
Okay.
So as you pointed out, Tony was very specific about someone's going to have to kill her. I don't think Jamie Hayter's taking that title. And I think the reason it's a 4-way is for Thekla to not eat a pin this early. Which leaves Statlander, who has been palling around a bit with the motherfuckers notorious for putting a plastic bag over someone's head and choking them unconscious. And I think Marina coming out and suffocating Tony and Statlander getting the pin and joining the Death Riders would be the most interesting thing you could do with Statlander in the half a decade she's been in AEW. And I like Statlander, so that's not to throw shade her way, but
no,
that's fun. Like that's good, interesting TV.
Wow, we went deep into the dark side of Fantasy Booking Island there, Jamie.
Well, no, I'm gonna agree to an extent. I found it very odd for Tony to basically say, "Well, this could be it," and I don't remember ever a champion saying, "Well, this could be it," and retaining. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It felt like a very weird, I'm getting ready to lose, so I'm just prepping you all so you guys don't freak out. That's kind of the what I got off that. But the thing was, and I thought they did a really good job of, was making everybody automatically think Thekla. And because, I mean, Homegirl's got it. And that match that she had, we'll talk about that in a second, because Jesus Christ.
Woo!
That was my match of the night.
Touche.
But I think they are doing a good swerve there. And I could see Jamie winning it, but I don't think Jamie has lost her luster in AEW. AEW has outgrown her. She got hurt, and it really just killed her momentum. And whatever she's doing now, people aren't really into it, but they still love her. So it could be Stat, but I'm still like, man, you need a good, strong heel at the top. Right now, it looks like it's going to be Thekla. But to your point,
you make
Austin,
the heel. You make the heel at the same time.
I know. It screams at me like, okay.
I think
that makes so much sense.
Joining the Death Riders to finally win that title makes her a bigger heel than what you have with Thekla right now.
Yeah.
I think Tekla's going to be around for a while, and I think she's getting that belt probably within the next year or so. I think the Stat story and Stat going heel makes more sense first.
I think that what you're doing with Thekla, and let's just talk about that match as part of this here, because we can bring that in. So Thekla, Queen Aminata, no holds bar match immediately after this promo. Fan-fucking-tastic. Chairs galore, all the violence. I mean, it was really good. And afterwards, they even have a bunch of run-ins and doing stuff going on. But this match, and the crowd was hot for it. I mean, there was Fight Forevers, and I mean, you're putting Thekla over in a way that is correct, okay? So you're letting people see what she can do in the ring as a whole, right? You're giving plenty for us to feed on, but you're not force-feeding her directly into, like, what they did with Megan Bayne, right? They told us why we needed to like Megan Bayne to be the next, unbeatable star. Instead of letting us see that for a while. Now we've seen it for a bit. Now people have started to come around on Megan Bayne, right? Squatch is saying, Thekla kind of growing on me. I think that's the thought. And to Austin's point, yes. And I think that giving her the belt is too soon because you keep going on this trajectory with her. And I really like the fact, too. You give her with that little pairing with Julia and Sky Blue, right? Just give her some minions, give her some backers. In 6 months or so, she could be megastar heel, right? That's what you want.
Yeah, I think put the title on her right now is another version of this is the person that's supposed to be at the top because we're saying it instead of letting her just simmer a little while longer because they've done great with her so far. And yeah, within 6 months to a year, she's one of your top women, one of the top women heels on the roster.
She could be one of the top
Just not
women,
right
one of the top women in wrestling if you keep going.
Oh yeah,
correctly.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then after the match, you have everybody runs out, all this stuff, including Wheeler Yuta and Marina Shafir. Wheeler coming to kind of aid to, and Marina sort of getting in the middle to pull Wheeler back off of Chris, which I don't know, and Chris has got this weird sort of like conflicted stuff. I like this idea a ton. As you guys both know, I've been clamoring for this for how long now? Then we have a counter on this, so
quite some time.
I think it's a good move if they go that path. We shall see.
I was less inclined to think this was possible until they had Daniel Garcia join the Death Riders. Mm-hmm. And at that point, well, you're now bringing more people in. Clearly, this is going to run for some time. So let's throw Statlander in there too.
Last question on Tony before we talk about some hanger stuff. Do you think that say all this happens just like Austin predicted, okay? We're going to Fantasy Booking Island hard now. Do we get a different Tony at the end of it?
No.
There's going to a resurrection of Timeless.
I think the most ideal path forward is Stat joins Death Riders, steals the title. We have Tony feuding with the Death Riders, and somewhere around like Wrestle Dream or Full Gear, we get Tony and Mox in a Texas Death match. Which is great because not only is that funny, but if they actually did that, we would all be super in.
It fits too. It checks. It checks, guys.
You're wearing the committed to the bit shirt. Tony might be the most committed to the bit wrestler in the history of pro wrestling.
You're not wrong.
All of her, every single one of her interviews, she's always in character.
Like the post scrums are her prepared statements for the media scrums are comedic gold. Okay,
and that's what makes it work, is because she never falters from that character.
She's Daniel Day-Lewis of wrestling. Okay.
Yes. Exactly.
Well, so another place where there will be blood is going to be in the world title match. So we begin
the men's world title match.
Yeah,
even Kyle Flex is saying it now.
First and foremost, before we get into this, what are you guys' thoughts briefly about them accentuating the full proper name of the title? Do you feel it's a bit much, or is it just kind of some shtick that they're doing for?
I think it puts more respect on the women's title.
Yeah, because Hanger started that. Hanger's the one that started calling it the men's world championship. And he said that in an interview. He's like, well, it's not the only world championship. There is a women's one as well. But why do we just call that the women's world championship? And this one's just the AEW championship, which it's one of those things. It's small. Ultimately, doesn't matter one way or the other. Probably not. But it's different and cool.
Dig it.
I dig it. All right. So you begin the night with a contract signing, and everybody knows these are boring legal matters. They never turn into anything worthwhile.
Always.
Always.
They never come back later in the night to like rear their ugly head either.
It's like when it's like having a wedding on your wrestling show. It's just like, oh my god, we got to get all this legalese out of the way.
Really quick. Just is an overarching thing about this. I'm so glad this wasn't the main event of the show or the last segment.
Yes.
So glad they got away with right at the beginning. Like, here you go, boom, done.
I hate when they end the show with a contract signing or an in-ring face-to-face promo segment.
True. And
so WWE.
For what it's worth, it kind of makes sense that you begin the show with the contract signing, right? Logistically. And they do it. So they come out, the contract signing's going on, right? Last week, Hanger made a real big stick about nobody else. So they put in there the stipulation that, nobody else at rings, you can't have anybody interfere. There's a little extra sauce drizzled on top of that if Don Callis or any other member of the Don Callis family did interfere in the match, Kyle would lose his TNT championship as well. So we got some stakes, boys.
Didn't need any extras. I was already in.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah, but I like that they're giving us reasons to not have the 18 run-ins at the end of every match that we see some other places.
And that's fair. I like how Hanger even says that, not mincing words, talk about how every one of these matches ends with all of this stuff here. And this whole part ends with a very, very wonderful Kyle Fletcher promo. Like his packaging presentation, the music, to Jamie's point earlier, is a big part of that. Everybody knows what an audiophile I am. Okay. I think that, yes, they've scaled back the metal in a perfect way to present this man as that universal mega, heel, main heel of the company, right? That's my whole take on some of these music bits that they're doing there, right? You have some iconic stuff that you lost with Rainmaker, and you've taken Kyle Fletcher, and he had such a over-the-top hardcore metal song, and you scaled it back just enough, because this is the man that, if you didn't know before tonight, he is going to be the main heel in AEW in the years to come.
Probably as early as 2026.
Yeah.
I mean, yes.
Without question.
Like this is very much the trial run. Hey, for pay-per-view cycle, we're going to put you in the main event. He's not going to stay there long term, nor should he. Like this is where we get the taste, and then as we get into 2026 at some point in time, he's going to be in the main event scene.
Well, it's the taste, but you also, to get him up there, you need to give the reason for him to get into that, right? And they did this when they did the whole Four Pillars match back. What was that? 22, Jamie? 23? I can't remember when it was. But that 23. That was a big test to see which of these guys is going to cut it. Spoiler, MJF. That was it.
It holds true.
Like this is looking way out into the future, but I'd imagine when Ospreay finally gets that title, All In next year, Fletcher's probably the one that takes him off later on down the road.
Yeah,
right.
I think that's the perfect timeline for him.
And I like the fact that you make it somewhat believable. I actually like there's a shred going through my brain that says I would not be dumbfounded if Kyle Fletcher has that title around his waist right now, right? For what they've done for him, when you're elevating somebody that you've built up into that level, at some point you need to make the pull, and you've got to A, get him into the picture, but then B, you've got to make that changeover happen. I remember young John Cena when they finally moved him off the U.S. title and the Thugonomics into the world title picture, right? It felt like, is he ready? Oh, he's ready. Yeah, well, he's ready, right? It's the same thing with Kyle, right? And of course, the show ends with him fulfilling his vow that they're going to leave him in a pile of his own shit and vomit or whatever the fuck that he said, right? Because after the tag team match for your main event, whole Don Callis family comes out, and they corner Christopher Daniels, which brings out everybody else, right? And then you eventually have Hanger come out, and long story short, Hanger gets Death Valley drivered through a table, or brainbustered through a table, and your last shot is Kyle getting really good heat from the crowd too, really good heat, holding both belts in the middle of the ring, and that's a sight that I love to see. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah,
Not gonna happen.
Kyle Fletcher's going to be
No.
a top guy.
Not yet.
I can't wait to see him and Takeshita go at it. Oh, please.
And that's the other reason why, like, there's no need to put the title on him now. Not that they would. Like, Hanger's not lose that thing right away. But there's so much more you could do with Kyle Fletcher before he gets back around to another title shot.
Well, I think you got enough. You got enough in the main picture. Oh, sidebar. There was a Big Bill promo because Eddie Kingston's going to be coming back. Him and Eddie Kingston, right? You know, we haven't seen Eddie, so it's a big question mark. It's going to happen. All right. You got enough people around that picture that make a lot more sense to do it. And yes, I'm totally for that because you're going to have Takeshita break off, my opinion, from the family. But I am all in on Kyle Fletcher, just personally. I'm all in.
You know what I'd like to see when Kyle Fletcher leaves All Out, only the TNT champion, and Takeshita leads the Don Callis family? Give me a best of 7 with Takeshita and Kyle Fletcher for the TNT title. They haven't done a best of 7 in a long time, and there hasn't really been much of a reason to in like any company. But I'd be here for that.
The last singles best of 7 that I can think of off the top of my head is Booker T and Chris Benoit, WCW.
I want to say there was one in somewhat more modern times, but off the top of my head, I cannot think of what it was.
I know they did the Young Bucks thing.
Was it?
Oh yeah, they did the trios thing. It was the Elite and the
Elite
Lucha Triangle or Death Triangle.
The Death Triangle, and then they did a lot in TNA. Like, you know, there was, I mean, the best was Guns in 3D. You know, I'm trying to think. Wasn't there one that involved Cesaro and Sheamus?
Yes, Cesaro and Sheamus.
That would be the most recent singles one that I remember.
I was gonna say, I thought there was one fairly modern one.
You're right.
Which led to the bar being formed. Okay.
But if there was ever 2 guys that put in a best of 7, it's Takeshita and Kyle Fletcher.
Well, and I think the implications of the triple threat match reverberate with the Don Callis family so well that, to your point, I think that gives you really, because Okada's just Okada. Fletcher's the face of the Don Callis family. He has supplanted the Alpha, and Takeshita, you know, breaking off and this and that could be the consolation that Kyle needs, and his anger, it could be directed towards Takeshita. How could you leave the family, sort of thing, right? Let's do best of 7.
Yeah. And I think that would elevate the TNT title as well, which desperately needs it. I mean, Kyle Fletcher holding is a good start, but give them a classic best of 7. That title is going to mean something again.
So Squatch actually put a question in there. Why is Booker not talked about enough when people mention the great ones? It's a good question.
Because they fucked him over when he lost to Triple H at WrestleMania. If he would have won the title there, we would look at his career completely differently. He ended up getting some World Heavyweight Championship runs, and I really enjoyed the King Booker stuff. But around that time, 2007, whenever it was, the World Heavyweight title didn't mean much. Like, you're in peak John Cena run, and that's the main title. When he was WCW champion, WCW was going down the drain. It just wasn't good at the time.
Right.
So that's why Booker is not included in that conversation. Talent-wise, he absolutely belongs there. But when you look back at the career, just what we got on TV, not his efforts, that's the biggest thing is he didn't have that marquee title run.
I think that Booker's overshadowed by other things surrounding Booker, right? Harlem Heat was such a great tag team and well ahead of their time, right? He was a pioneer for black wrestlers on television in a different way that modern people, can't really fathom necessarily, right? His run in TNA was what it was. It was a whole thing. It's part of the mafia and everything, but I think that when you look at like great ones, and it's just a matter of longevity, right? He spent half of his career in a tag team too, so it's hard
And there's
to kind
really
of put him on that same level as like Ric Flair's and John Cena's and all that.
There's really not an iconic Booker T match.
No, I would say there is. There's one that sticks up in my head, Jamie. It happened in a supermarket.
That's a segment.
That's a match in my head. I'm keeping it.
That's the thing. Like just in the ring, bell to bell, there's not a classic historic Booker T match.
Yeah, that's a good point.
There are a million Booker T promo segments that are all-time greats though.
Yeah. And in fairness, JJ, I will disagree with your argument, even though what you said makes sense, but Bret Hart was in a long-time tag team.
That's a good
Shawn
point.
Michaels was in
Touche.
a long-time tag team. Like
Guy way longer than
Stone Cold Steve Austin was in a long-time
long.
tag team.
Oh, look, the Rockers lasted from 88 to 91 in the WWF. Shawn Michaels was there until 2008. No, 2010 was his retirement match. So, like, he was a singles guy much longer. And Squatch, not only would I rank Cena up there with Flair, I would put Cena ahead of Flair.
Ooh.
Ric Flair had the same damn match for 40 years.
I won't, but I'll put him on the same level as Flair. Yes.
Ric Flair in ring earned the praise and the hype he got, but he did have the same match for 40 years. John Cena became a mainstream name after wrestling was dead in the mainstream. Like, peak Cena, he's granted more Make-A-Wishes than anyone in the history of Make-A-Wish. Like, that's how in demand he was with the kids. Not only that, but what puts Cena over the top for me is his later years where he hadn't full-time retired yet, but he did like the U.S. title open challenge. He went out there and just put over KO. He went out there and had awesome matches with Cesaro, with AJ Styles. Like, John Cena adapted later on in his career and put on some outstanding matches that were not your traditional WWE style. And to me, that puts him ahead of Ric Flair.
Yeah. He was willing to put over the talent, but the talent had to earn it. That was Cena's whole thing. Like, if you ever hear him still, he's like, you have to earn it from me. And like, just recently, he absolutely dog walked Logan Paul in some promos, and just to see how the kid would react. Like, he was 100% doing I'm the old vet. Fuck you. What do you got, kid? And then, I mean, Logan Paul crumbled a little bit, but then he's like, okay, I can handle this. And then it's like, that's how Cena's always worked. That's why we always talk about him. And like, he buried the young talent with word because he's trying to get the young talent to try to come over the top of him to make them look better. And he made some people KO. He made KO.
He put over Nakamura. Nakamura first match on the main roster.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
He's not afraid. I love it. I mean, I hate to agree with you because I don't like Cena as a wrestler because it was after my favorite time of wrestling of all time.
True.
But I cannot discount who he is and what he meant in the business.
And from an objective level, you go back and watch, in JBL, we thought the JBL aside, right? You always called him Big Match John, right? Go back and watch some of his biggest matches. He's had them with everybody, okay? They're all good, objectively speaking.
Stone Cold, Hulk Hogan, and The Rock had a baby, and it was John Cena. There you go.
Yeah.
It's just flat out. Give credit where credit's due. I still want to put him over Flair. I don't care. Flair the same match, 40 years, sure. Don't care. It's Ric Flair. All right, pay-per-view. This Saturday we got pay-per-view, boys. JB, do you have the card here?
We missed one part of Dynamite.
Which one did I miss?
You missed the husband going getting the wife going up against the husband to stand up for her work husband, dude. You missed that.
Mox and Roddy.
Yeah.
Oh, we did have. Yeah, that's right. Okay. Hello. The first match. Sorry. Yes, we did have Mox and Roderick Strong, which interesting. When you get some little blood going on here with Marina and Roderick out there on the opposite sides. But actually, this was actually a really good way to start the night in wrestling wise. I did really enjoy this match. I always enjoy getting Roderick out there. I think Roderick is actually a really good kind of pair for Mox for a just random TV match, right?
Yeah, like you knew Roddy wasn't going to win, but you believed that he could. You don't get that a lot with these matches Mox has been having on TV.
Right. That's half of Roddy's career in a good way. I say that in a good way.
Yeah. Right? It's hard to take that many losses and still be believable every time you go out there. But that's a guy you need on the roster. Someone that can lose anyone and not lose anything.
Yep. Definitely him.
All right, did we get it all?
I think so.
Okay.
That was all. Right. That was all we missed.
That was all we missed. Just quick word. Good job, Roddy. All right, pay-per-view this Saturday. And in lieu of, because there's no collision beforehand since we had it tonight, basically, right? So in lieu of that, we have pretty much everything, including the tailgate, which is what they're calling tailgate there ahead of time. So
I like that the pre-show stuff getting a gimmick. That's fun.
I do too. Okay. So Jamie, you got the card handy. Let's go through the card, man.
Oh, I do. Your reigning, defending,
okay, all right.
and current
pay-per-view
champion has the upcoming card where he will successfully defend said card.
I think from now on, if one of the three of us beats the reigning defending picks champion in fantasy football, we should get the title. Because I picked better players than you last weekend.
I mean, that is fair. That's a fair argument there, and I tend to agree.
You're trying to give JJ a chance to have this thing. No, I'm out. All right.
Hey.
It's our version of the 24/7 rule, but it's only like 6 times a year when we play each other.
Can we read the damn card, please? Let's get to it.
Tornado tailgate brawl that includes the Sisters of Sin, which I kind of like how they call themselves that within. That's Sky Blue and Julia Hart, and then they have Megan Bain and Penelope Ford, and then they'll be going up against Queen Aminata, Willow, my lovely Willow Nightingale. You have
Mina,
Feel the Wrath herself in there.
Harley Cameron with the cat face.
Oh, so great. You got Mina. All right. Then after that, you have the Tornado tag team match, trios match. I guess it's not Tornado. Sorry. It's just a trios match straight up. The Hurt Syndicate going up against GOA and
no, you're jumping into the main show already. So you've got
that's what I got.
No. So you got 3 matches on the pre-show, basically. So you got that match. You have, because they did a whole Ops promo too, where
oh yeah,
now with Daniel Garcia, they went. So there's Daniel Garcia versus
Shibata.
Shibata, and then the other 2 members of the Ops taking on the Workhorsemen for some reason. Not
Yeah, why
Wheeler,
would it be
not Wheeler, and
cigar on it, yeah.
I don't know, but there's that.
Okay.
Settle down there, Squatch. I'll have to hold you down. Okay.
All right. Then
now let's
all
go to the main show. So you have trios match. Yes. All right.
yeah, then you have Mark Briscoe and MJF in a tables and tacks match.
Tables and tacks.
You have a returning, can't wait for this, Eddie Kingston going up against Big Bill. He's 7 foot tall, and you can't teach that. I don't know if you knew that. Then you have a tag team match of FTR versus Cage and Cope, not Cope and Cage. I'm sure I said that correctly.
Alphabetical.
Then you have a fatal four-way tag team, or sorry, it's just a four-way tag team ladder match. It's Bandito going up against Hechicero and why am I blanking?
Do
Don
you not
Callis
have
family,
the
whatever.
card in front of you? You go this by memory?
I
What
do,
you
but it like, doesn't have that match on there filled out.
All right. Brodito versus Young Bucks versus Jet Speed versus Don Callis family, which is Josh Alexander and Hechicero.
Thank you, Josh Alexander. Thank you. All right, then you have a coffin match that no one really cares about, especially me. Don Moxley versus Darby Allin. You have the TBS Championship, Riho versus Mercedes Moné. Then you have the AEW Women's 4-Way Championship of Thekla, Chris Statlander, Jamie Hayter, and Timeless Toni Storm. And then your main event of the evening will be Adam Hangman Page versus Kyle Fletcher for the AEW Men's World Heavyweight Championship.
You missed the 3-way.
What 3-way?
Okada.
Oh, yeah. Okada, Takeshita, and Dorada. Sorry. For the unified belt. Which I still think that's a terrible, terrible name.
Terrible name. I can't stand how they have all 3 belts hanging around.
I mean, why not?
Especially when you have Mercedes Moné, whose whole gimmick is carrying 9 belts to the ring.
Yeah.
You're a third of that.
Let's just have the single belt. This is meant to merge these belts together for a reason, right? Well,
Okay,
the next
there are
champ.
13 matches. There are 13 matches on this.
Hey man, it's a 1 o'clock start.
I
Because
vote
the
no
pre-show starts at 1. Do it.
I vote no pre-show. For this.
Yeah, we gotta vote. Like they've been announced. We gotta pick them all.
Yeah, they're announced. They're there. And
This
there's
is
gonna
a
be.
fun
Announced
one.
before and they magically don't end up on the card that we pick.
Well, no, these have been announced. They're going to happen.
Yeah,
And if
these
the
have been
match-
announced. These happen.
If there's an injury and something in the card changes, we remove that. Nobody gets points for that. That's always been. Yeah.
Well, we've also had it where it's been announced and it hasn't been on our card to pick.
Well, we've had a lot of that. Well, when was it announced? Announced like literally like an hour before the fucking show starts. Come on, man.
I mean, one of them I had to call you about because it's been announced for like 4 weeks. Like, oh yeah.
Okay, all right, yeah. I'm going through fucking Tony Khan's Twitter and it's not on there. All right, whatever. All right, we're going with the pre-show because they've been announced. There's going to be a bonus question in there somewhere too. Who knows, right? So we'll have lots of opportunity for points. Whatever we can do to pry that belt off of your shoulder shall happen. All right.
It seems like one of the harder ones to pick in a while. Like,
does.
there's a lot of these that could go either way. That's
yeah.
fun.
And this because you got a lot of multi matches. You got a 4-way, you got a triple threat, you got two 4-ways and a triple threat. I mean, there's a lot that can go on. All right. That's this Saturday. We'll have some picks in. We will talk about those picks next week and who the new champion is. In the world of wrestling, there's one other thing we were going to get to, okay? Hey, did you boys know that you can watch wrestling through ESPN now?
Don't care.
Only if you pay for the extra ESPN subscription. That's not ESPN Plus or just having ESPN on cable. Because they have to make this as difficult as fucking possible.
Yep. I think I actually have it because I changed my ESPN at the beginning of the season because I got rid of my TV subscription, a couple months back. So I was like, oh crap, I need to find a way to watch college football. So I I already have like the top level of Disney Plus, so I just pay like an extra $10 a month to do like the whole like ESPN, the new ESPN, whatever.
You don't have it.
No, this is a
I have
different
that
one.
I have the same exact one, and you have to pay an additional thing in order to get it.
Oh,
It has to be directly through ESPN only.
That's
And
so
it's $30.
stupid.
Same thing for UFC. Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
well, the internet has been loving this idea.
Well, we see each other pretty regularly, Squatch. So that's what I mean. Luckily for me, the belt doesn't hardly ever move. So
So Austin lives in a different city. Austin lives in Wichita. Jamie and I live here, right? And it's I would love nothing more than to make Jamie have to make a detour after softball one night to come up to either my place of business or my house and hand me that glorious belt.
Oh, if that ever happens, you got to film it. We got played on the show.
Bet.
we do.
Bet.
Because I mean, for one, hell with Frozen over because he won.
Okay.
The deal thing where as soon as you take the title, he just kind of holds on to it for a second before letting go. That's pro wrestling style.
I'm in.
All right. You guys have heard. Internet, you're our witnesses. All right, here we go. We'll be back next week.
If JJ ever wants that title from you, we need video of you putting it over his shoulder.
He'll probably do the Charlotte Flair thing.
Just throw it at you.
Just throw it at my feet.
You have to kneel down and present it to him.
I want you to come do it in the middle of the day at the middle of my dealership. I want to have it like in front of everybody,
Be hilarious.
All right, boys.
Well, I don't have to worry about that anytime soon, so I'm all good.
Well, we will find out next week, ladies and gentlemen. So come join us again next week. Same bad time, same bad channel. Well, hopefully not same bad time, maybe a little sooner. Approximately half hour after Dynamite ends, whenever the hell that is. But we'll be back next week. We'll give you results of the picks. We'll give you results of fantasy football as we keep chucking along here. Raise your hand if you're undefeated.
I lost to Bishop week 1. I'm undefeated against Jamie all time, though. That counts.
Okay, all right. Well, I'll give you a little credit there.
Come on, baby, 1-1.
Undefeated. Gonna keep the streak going, but we will check with you guys next week. Again, thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. If it was your first time joining us, please hit that subscribe button down below so you can come back and join us again. You can always follow us on them internets at Total Spotfest, and we will see you guys next week. Have a fantastic weekend. Jamie, take us home, man.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you're not down with Total Spotfest, I got 6 words for you. JJ ain't gonna win that belt.
I hate you guys so much. I hate you so much. All right, guys. We'll see you next week.
Peace.
Later.